What's up, guys? This is John with Balcony DAO. I'm here at ETH Denver. We're still talking to founders, people who are working in the space. Today, we're with Kristin Chen. Kristin Chen runs Topgg. Topgg exists because Discord is an incredibly simple product that confuses nobody, that is absolutely easy to use with the UX that is just completely intuitive. Kristin, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you think you could possibly add to that product that would be of value?
I know, I mean, Discord not overwhelming at all, right? So simple, like you just download it and you're good. But really, Topgg is the discovery layer for Discord. Right now, we help people find Discord bots and Discord servers, and if you're a Discord bot developer or you have created a Discord community, you list with us so that we can help you grow. But really, we've repositioned ourselves this year to index the metaverse. We want to help make it more accessible and help make it very easy to navigate. And we just launched DAO Discovery on Topgg Monday at DAO Denver. So if you want to check it out, it's top.gg/DAO.
So if I want to find a DAO using your service, like how does it work? Are you like a layer on top of Discord that operates Discord like under the hood, and then I just like search?
Yeah.
How does this?
So you can almost think of us as like a Yelp, right? Like restaurants are listing themselves, get discovered. DAOs are going to list themselves with Topgg to get discovered.
Are people going to post like terrible Yelp reviews of
Oh my
gosh,
DAO? I mean, I hope not. We do have systems in place. So the cool thing on Topgg is, so let's say you list Balcony now. We might have to do that in a few minutes. You list that there, you give an overview. We're able to get some data from Discord so we can tell people how many Discord server members there are. In the future, we'll be able to show them some stats about activity. And the really cool thing, it's almost like a preview of someone who wants to learn about, they're trying to figure out what DAO they want to learn about. You can assign categories to Balcony DAO to help them find it. And then your Discord server members or DAO members can write reviews and will actually show if someone's a member of that Discord. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So it solves the Yelp problem of people being like,
yeah, exactly.
This chiropractor sucks, he broke my neck and now I'm paralyzed.
Exactly.
And then you find out that it's the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, totally sketch. So the nice thing is, people can upvote reviews that are useful, and then also you as the sort of DAO creator can respond to them as well. We have a moderation system in place to take care of that. That's
really cool. So is there a component of that that's also like a blog that kind of tells you what's going on in DAO land?
How did you read my mind? That is what we want to do in the future. Right now, we've been doing that a little bit more on the Discord site, so we've been featuring different Web3 Discord bots, et cetera, but our hope is that we're almost able to tell people a pulse of the DAO landscape, right? Like which DAOs are growing, what's going on, what categories are growing, feature a couple cool DAOs in different spaces.
Okay, You're pretty sharp, so I'm going to assume that part of your indexing is also creating basically a sentiment analysis with some trajectory so that you can understand which of these DAOs are increasingly bankable. Is that
okay? Stop reading my mind. Yes, that's what we're hoping to do. As we get more and more DAOs listed, right, we'll start to see that at a high level and provide different insights. Whether you want to start your own DAO, you could see what's hot or not. Whether you want to invest in DAO tokens, or whether you just want to find let's say you like sports and you say, hey, I want to find what's the hottest sports DAO, or what's the newest one that's just starting. You can kind of use our site to figure out what's going on.
Are you raising a round? Is this a take my money conversation?
Oh my gosh,
right
no. Call me later this year. We're not actively raising right now, but let me know. Our big focus has just been launching DAO Discovery and seeing how that goes. Yeah.
I think that's a perfect 10 shill right there.
Perfect 10 shill.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good shill.
Yeah.
First of all, you did a couple things. I want to just kind of like go back and just kind of play back the tape for a second in slow-mo. First of all, you started on the shill. We typically have people shill out at the end of the of the show, but you opened on the shill, like boom on the button, which was a strong move, right? Put points on the board out of the gate. And then you kind of like brought me along a little bit. You made me do the shilling for you, which was sort of like
Balcony DAO. We got to get Balcony down.
Yeah, you pulled me in. You did sort of like the delegate the DAO administrative level DAO. You should go do shill for me. I did your little shill work for you. By the end of it, I'm like, why don't I own a piece of this company? And you were like,
I know.
You know what? Maybe we're a DAO too, and you can buy some tokens. Is that a thing?
Not yet. That is something though on my mind. So you know what's interesting? I did not know what a DAO was until September. One of our investors, brought up the concept of, one of our board members brought up the concept of, hey, why isn't Topgg a DAO? And I honestly blanked and I said DAU, Daily Active Users. What are you talking about? And then they said, oh, obviously you know what that is, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And I was like a deer in the headlights. And I said, hey, I'm not saying no, but I need to learn what that is. And I just, I was frantically like sweating, going to Google, DAO, like what the hell is this? And then I happened to find out that Jess Sloss and Rebecca Lamis and Jonas Lamis were giving a talk the next day, signed myself up, went from there. And as I was trying to learn about DAOs, I was looking on Twitter, I was so confused. And then I was freaking out because I said, oh my gosh, I had no context on Web3. I said, what is Topgg going to do? Like oh my gosh, Web3, like what do we do? And then as I kind of went down the DAO rabbit hole and I was looking for them myself, I realized that we were just really well positioned to help people, navigate DAOs, and I hope help be a part of onboarding the next billion users to DAOs.
So that's to me, that's like the craziest thing about Web3 is how many people just realize, like it just dawns upon you suddenly that you're at the intersection of these like major tectonic movements in finance, in communities, in governance, in bridging Web 2 and Web 3, and you realize like, I might be the guy or girl who could actually do this. I have this subject matter experience.
Absolutely.
I understand this new space that nobody understands at least as well as the people who don't understand it. Like, why not?
I know, it's changing every day, right? And I think the one thing I'll say is, if you take a look at me as an example, I did not know what Web3 was. I was, I maybe bought something on Coinbase, but I had no idea what I was doing in Web3. And I just want to encourage everyone that, the space is changing every day, and you can just dive in and, study, take a few months, join some DAOs and contribute, and,
Yeah, there's no imposter syndrome because we're all imposters. Like none of us know what the hell's going on. I mean, like every single day, I'm just like, these protocols. Come on, this stuff.
I can't keep up with Twitter. I can't keep up with Discord.
It's too much.
What's going on?
But that's actually the fun of it, though. It's the fun of it. Like we just found out, like we're going from bridges to tunnels.
I know. I can't even keep up with all the jargon, but I will say that I think what got me so excited about Web3 and why I really wanted to kind of position Topgg to explore it or help others explore it is that I guess in my career, I've never felt like I've been so early in a space, and we all have the opportunity to change what that narrative is and how it evolves and have super high impact.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm 42 years old, so I saw Web 1, come out of the box, and I was a kid, and I come from a broke family, so there was no participation whatsoever. It was just, that was just a rhetorical discussion that was being had, and I was there to kind of like catch some of it, but I wasn't really contributing to that in any meaningful way. Then I saw Web 2 come about. I saw MySpace, Rise and Fall, and Friendster before that, and all that, and sort of like
Tom,
like that whole. I saw that whole thing happen. I couldn't really participate in that because I didn't have access to venture capital that was going to back me to do something meaningful. I tried actually. I was going to launch something very similar to YouTube, and then YouTube launched immediately after, and I was like,
gosh.
You look at it practically and you're like, there's no way I'm competing with this type of a capital stack. It's just not going to happen. And then Web 3 comes about, and it's like all of the things that made Web 1 and 2 people successful are a liability in Web 3.
And I think it just transformed access. Like, look at just how fast you can spin up a DAO. It's incredible. I really think, I know we were chatting a little bit earlier about how, like, in my past Web 2 life, it was all about, creator, content ecosystems, building community. And I was always thinking about when I worked at, Pinterest, Twitch, and SoundCloud, like, how do we really, build with and for these creators or with these communities? And that missing piece was ownership. And I just love that Web3 and DAO specifically solved that.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I took the piss out of Discord a little bit, but I actually love the product. It is a little bit intimidating at first because you got this like rack of stuff happening. It's weird how the different components interact. It's confusing. Yeah. Once you get the hang of it, I think you develop like a love for it, or maybe that's Stockholm syndrome or something. But like you start to like it. So what made Topgg decide to build on the Discord graph? Why Discord? Why was that where you guys saw value?
Yeah, so I'll tell you two different stories. So when I was at Twitch, that's kind of when Discord was spinning up. So I think a lot of people don't realize that Discord was truly built with gamers and streamers online. It gave a place for streamers to have their communities hang out. Well, they weren't streaming all the time, or if we wanted to go play some games together, we'd pop into our Discord and chat and hang out. And I think Ollie, the original founder, he started about 5 years ago, and he was a Discord bot developer, and I believe he was just finishing up high school. I'm in a small town in the UK, and he was like, my friends and I, we can't find the Discord bots we want. Like, what's going on? And he built Discord bot list, and then he realized people couldn't find servers, and so he spun up, Discord bot list and Discord server list, which became what Topgg was today. And I think he saw an opportunity that I had Bobo with him a couple months ago in the Bay Area, and he just saw a need that he needed to solve for himself and built that. And that's almost, I think in that same vein, how I've been approaching DAO Discovery. I was like, hey, I'm struggling with this. So many other people are struggling with this. Let's help them navigate it, because, don't get me wrong, I think Discord it's incredible, but it is just so overwhelming and complex, and there's so much going on, and that's part of kind of the pros and cons of it, right? Like, it's difficult to navigate, but it's so powerful in that you can truly customize and run giant communities at scale. You can run a server with, our server is a little under 200,000 people. You can run a server with 10 people. Some servers are 800,000 people. Like, what other tools let you run and build communities at scale?
You know what this actually reminds me of? So my dad was a cabbie in New York City. And so I have this affinity with cabs and the cabbie community, and particularly the immigrant community. And all of the Bangladeshi and the West African cab drivers, they repurposed conference call phone numbers so that they could all listen to conversations in their native tongue about the motherland while they're driving around. So you would just dial into creative. This. There'd be hundreds of thousands of people on this conference line, and it's a free conference line, and they're just sitting there listening, having these, and they're hearing this thing, and I guess it's reassuring. They're getting news from from Bangladesh or from Senegal, and they're all there in this community, and community is such a powerful thing that you're driving a cab all day, and you're like, I need to be there. And in fact, there's this Dominican song, I'm here, but my mind is there. Estoy aquí, pero mi mente está allá. And it's a song about exactly that feeling. There's this constant longing, this constant desire to connect with people in this way. So these communities can fill up to 800,000, 1 million plus. I mean, what's the largest Discord community that you know of?
I believe the cap is 800,000, and there's two. One is Genshin Impact, and one is Axie Infinity.
Oh, right. Axie Infinity is madness,
blown
right?
up, yeah.
And you don't work with them at all, do you?
No, not yet. I got to call them to get their Discord server on Topgg, but I don't know if they want to put it on there if it's at the cap. I got to call Discord and get them to up the cap for Discord servers.
I think you need to just give Axie Infinity the shill right there.
Yeah.
You got to deal.
I mean, hey, you got to list with us on Topgg if you want to grow your community, and if you're spinning up a DAO, you got to get that on Topgg DAO.
That's a cold shill. You know what that was? That was the biz dev shill.
I know.
That's pretty good.
I just went straight, you got to go straight for it.
You got to go right to the rack, man. You got to get in the paint and you got to put it down. You got to put it down.
Totally.
And you did.
Yeah,
that's the biz dev shill.
I wanted to follow up on what you're saying. I think I love the story you shared about, the cabbies, and I think for me, community, right, when you go down to it, there's just something so beautiful and human about aligning people around a shared interest. And when you bring people together in a community, magical things happen. I think for many DAOs, even when I'm in some of them, you can almost never predict how they're going to evolve. You bring people together, put a couple things in place, and you just truly see where it goes.
Do you have any success stories that you really like about community building that you've seen happen on Discord or that Topgg was involved in?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. So one story I would love to share is the story of Vanessa, and she's our community lead at Topgg. She's badass. She's a developer of a top 40 Discord bot called Mimu, and she built that Discord bot because she has a background in kind of connecting to people or helping them with mental health resources. That's actually the story behind Mimu, but it's evolved into this bot with so many different features, with greeting messages, other custom kind of roles, and I believe it's in 800,000 servers today, and it has a community of maybe 40, 50,000 people too, and she shared with me that Topgg was a big part of that story, just listing with Topgg, and was a way for people to discover that Mimu bot existed.
What does the Mimu bot do? I think I know it. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it is a very cute picture, but Mimu bot some of the main features that we often share is kind of like custom greetings, and you can set different custom roles. And then also there's a feature where if someone needs help or resources for mental health, you can kind of just build that into your Discord server. So yeah, but I would say go to Topgg, look at Mimu, and then you can see the page with all of the features and all of the ratings and reviews about it to see how people have used it.
That's cool. What other interesting types of bots? My son, my 11-year-old son.
Yeah.
He got started building bots, I don't know, like a year or two ago. He's actually
We got to get those on Topgg, and hey, many bot developers have built businesses off of Topgg because they use us for user acquisition and growth.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably get my son, get DJ up in the Topgg
Totally.
lines.
Music bots are one of our most popular bot categories. I'd say Hydra on Topgg is one of the biggest ones, but you might remember last year there was kind of this sad situation where YouTube took down a lot of the beloved music bots, such as Groovy and Rhythm. But a really cool emerging category of Discord bots are Web3 Discord bots. And actually here at the ETH Denver Hackathon, I've met a couple of Discord bot developers. And there's one I wanted to shout out. BPM Bot is a music bot that plays NFTs from Catalog Works, Zora, and I think Sound XYZ.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what you should do, because I have a background in the music space as well.
Okay.
I had a music startup. I adore music as a DJ, play some music, produce a little bit. I would love for you guys to make a bot that is a music discovery bot that takes all the artists on Spotify that get no streams.
I'm getting a hackathon idea. Hey, maybe that's something we got to partner on and have some devs build that for us.
Listen, I know my way around a little code too. Maybe,
all right, let's do it.
Maybe that's a weekend project for me. But I would love to see a bot finds all those underplayed, deserving artists and starts to play them, inside of it.
You know what? I used to work at SoundCloud before Topgg. I was leading the creator to fan team, and it sounds like I need to give them up a call and see if we can have a SoundCloud Discord bot to play all of that music in different servers.
Girl, you know what
Look at us, brainstorming ideas right here.
That was a collaboration show.
Yeah.
That's another new category.
Are you regretting bringing me on the show now?
Woo! Now we got a collabo show.
Yeah.
Man, we're building.
I know, right here in
real time. Yeah.
What? Oh my gosh.
It's like that.
So I think as part of, DAO discovery, one thing that I'm always thinking about is, how do we really onboard more people into DAOs, into Web3? And so as part of our DAO discovery launch, we also launched a resources page. So if you go to topgg/DAO, click on resources, you'll see a list of hand-curated resources by me, podcasts, articles, Web3 starter packs that are going to tell you all about DAOs. And I think too, I know a lot of people will have different use cases for DAO discovery, but if you're thinking about contributing, I think it's a really great way to, check it out, join some Discord servers, and in the future, we're actually going to list kind of open roles for DAOs or ways to get involved and contribute.
That's cool. I recommend you make those like binary, application style and permissionless style.
Yeah.
Because if you create a permissionless marketplace.
How did you read my mind? Monday we're launching, application, and then also kind of dive in, because I know some DAOs, F2BB, for example, has an application process, and even Crypto and Society just done that. I mean, hey, you should just come pitch for me at Topgg.
What?
I'm recruiting.
What? I got the Shill job on that one. That's another.
Bribery.
What? Oh my God, it's all happening so fast.
I know. We just met too.
Wasn't expecting any of this. Wow, that's how Web3 works, man.
Yeah.
The speed of execution in this space is amazing. Whew. In any event, in my new role as head of community at Topgg, I'm really focused on shilling. How can we best shill in the Web3 space? What are the tools available for us to shill?
Oh my gosh! I mean, there's a lot. I see it happening in Discord. I see it happening in Twitter. And the one advice I always give to different DAOs or folks on Discord servers, I say, hey, make sure you put a channel called flexing or shilling or something. It's going to happen anyways. You might as well give people a space to do it and kind of give rules around it. But I mean,
I could tell how you were parented. It's like it's going to happen anyway. You might as well just put the beer in the fridge.
It's going to happen anyways. Let's address it, right? Like you got to be proactive. You can't just be reactive. But I think people hop in my DMs and shill me, and I think what I appreciate is when they've done their homework and they make sure that the shill is valuable. I think when shills are kind of just out of context and random, it's not going to land. Like, you got to do your homework and look at your audience.
Oh yeah, out of context shilling. That's good. I like that. Like, keep your shill in context.
Yes.
Keep your shill in context, cuz. I like that.
Totally.
That's pretty good advice. So, okay, why don't we work on my Discord server for a second? You want to do it?
Oh my gosh, we would love to do it. Let's do it live. One thing I'll offer up too is that we do a lot of workshops, so we're happy to come and talk community building, deep dive with you. No, you don't. You don't. We do. Vanessa, our amazing community lead, and myself. Like, for example, we joined Global Coin Research. Joy Shing is super awesome. She brought us in, and we did a little workshop where we showed off kind of Topgg DAO. It was before the launch. We got some feedback. We showed everyone how to use Topgg to find bots, which I think is really useful because your Discord server is evolving. And hey, you want to automate something, you want to make it better. Let's teach, instead of giving you the fish, let's teach you how to fish. And then we are also happy to cover things like best practices for onboarding, member engagement, trust and safety, spam, and also just guidance on how you should staff your server. So we're totally happy to do workshops and events.
So I need help with that. Also, if anybody out there is watching this, we're looking for people to help us on our Discord. We're looking for some mods.
Yes. And once we add the open rules to Topgg, you can. I know. I'm gonna pitch you. You got to add your DAO and add all those open rules there.
This is very good shill. This is very good shill that's happening right now.
Shill in context, useful shill. I did my homework.
Yeah, you're like shill PhD over here. You're like doctorate program shill.
I changed my Twitter bio to that.
Yeah, woof, you're good. So this is what I'm seeing now, which is starting to dawn on me.
Yeah.
So you've got this come on service that's pretty low touch. It's an easy knock on the door for DAOs. Come in, list here, get found. Yeah. Then you have these additional services, customized bots that you can go out and build. You have the services of teaching people how to actually make that Discord a useful space for your community and useful for your DAO and your business purposes. Then you have this sort of agency type vibe that's happening, where you're able to.
Maybe I got to start an agency. Hey.
I mean, it sounds like you kind of already are an agency. And then the next piece after that is there's this index that's sort of this trading tool, which is a data provider that comes out of that. And then the next piece out of that is sort of you're the mouth of the transaction to
Did you see my strategy
VCs.
and vision deck in my roadmap?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I know. I feel we got to connect. I feel like you're reading my mind, because I mean, for me, I guess I've just been passionate my whole career about community building, and where we really see Topgg, right? We want to index the metaverse. I think community is the future, and we want Topgg to be this hub for community discovery and community building. And so I feel like we've done that. So I think of Discord as this one space that we've helped index and make really accessible. And I think of Web3 as another space where we're starting to work on indexing DAOs. In the future, we want to add DAO tooling, help people have insights into what's going on. And then we're looking at all these other spaces. We might even go into Roblox games, Minecraft. When I started, some friends at Twitch called me up and said, hey, wait, are you going to do this for Twitch bots or Twitch communities? I think there's just such a vast opportunity, and we want to be that, your guide to the metaverse.
I mean, I think first principles, the simplest piece of this to get your head around, which is really exciting to me, is, we always talk about the metaverse. It's this vast, expansive, multiversal type of space, right? So there's no map there, and I feel like what you're doing is you're creating a map, right?
Exactly.
So that you say here's your constellation, right? Here's Orion's belt. It's this is how you connect the dots between all of these different communities, and it gives people some way to navigate this immense space.
Okay, you're hired. You're hired. But seriously,
I thought I was already hired.
Yeah, I know, you're already hired. You got the hat, you got the swag. But exactly, I would say, right, just as we were joking about, Discord's overwhelming. Imagine how overwhelming the metaverse is when you add in AR and VR in the future. Who knows? There's all these spaces, and so our hope and dream at Topgg really is to help people navigate that and help you find what you're looking for. Sometimes you don't even know what's out there, what to search for. How do we truly help you, discover what you're passionate about and what you can join in? I think what I'm really excited about, right, that data piece you mentioned, as we start kind of indexing these spaces, we're going to get data. I'm really excited about on-chain data as well, and we can make even kind of better recommendations once we figure out what people are interested in.
That's really exciting, because the other thing is that these communities are very robust and they're active. And so like if you have a bot that is going out and seeking that data from these Discord users, they'll give it to you because they want that product improved. So you have a really good graph to build on and to kind of mine from. I think what I would say is I'm going to introduce you to the quid pro quo Shill.
Yeah, I'm
quid
ready.
Pro quo Shill. I would like to be a case study for Topgg.
Oh, hey.
For Balcony DAO, and maybe you could help us build our community, help us build our tools, help us index what we're doing inside of Topgg.
I think we might have a case study. I mean, I'm seeing like, at the next DAO event or DAOs, like we go up, we talk through this case study, right? Like, we have a hackathon for Discord bots you need. We take a look at your server. We recommend which bots you should use. Hey, I see a lot there, and if you so decide to, put Balcony, I guess, I mean, it depends how fast you want Balcony DAO to grow. Yesterday, I know, we got to get you on Topgg, and one thing we haven't built into Topgg/DAO yet, but we've gotten asked about is, people are like, wait, I want to promote it, so how do you advertise? So this is my next show. On Topgg itself, on
service show.
I know. On Topgg, if you go to top.gg, you'll see kind of the top bots and top servers, and you'll notice there's two kind of promoted slots. And so we've started to see a lot of kind of DAOs and crypto Discord servers grabbing those slots, because we get a lot of traffic, like almost a little under 1 million DAUs, 8 to 10 million MAUs. So you're getting a lot of eyeballs from people who are already Discord savvy that could come into and help your DAO if they're interested in.
Let's underscore that. You said you're getting 8 to 10
MAU.
Yeah. Today.
Yeah.
And this has been, how long have you guys been doing this?
We've been doing this for 5 years, but I will say it truly exploded with the pandemic, right?
Right.
Pandemic, we saw huge explosions in gaming and Discord, etc. And I think with Web3, in DAOs, Discord has become the de facto kind of hub or communication, tool for DAOs. I get asked a lot. In fact, I got asked yesterday at the event, like, hey, what's next? Like, is there going to be a decentralized tool? I know that there's a couple projects building them. I heard of ComApp, which was
what is this? A decentralized what?
Decentralized Discord.
A decentralized Discord. Oh yeah, I've heard people mentioning this before.
Yeah, ComApp, or someone, I haven't looked into it, someone mentioned Quill, and then, I've heard of Clarity Teams, which is like decentralized Notion.
Why wouldn't Discord just decentralize?
I don't know. Hey, maybe they're working on it and they haven't told us yet. So I don't have any answers there yet, but that's something I'm always kind of keeping a pulse on. Out of curiosity, yeah. I think we're very early there.
Let me ask you a question. If Discord decentralized, could your product be as successful as you'd like it to be?
I think so. I think if Discord decentralized, they still wouldn't be solving the problem that we're solving, right? Indexing,
right.
These, and it's funny, I was thinking, sometimes I get questions like, wait, if, Discord builds this, what's gonna happen to you? And I'll say Discord already has server discovery, we're still here. Discord is gonna launch bot discovery, we're still gonna be here. And I can share just from my past life doing product at Twitch, right? We built a lot of specific first-party search and discovery tools at Twitch, and there were a ton of people in the ecosystem building these third kind of party tools, and we're building for really different use cases.
Right.
And my kind of view is, and I know other people are working on DAO discovery too. If you are, I'd love to hear from you. My view, and I think what's so special about Web3 versus Web2, it's that competitiveness is gone. Like, I feel like there's this collective community where we know that the more building there is, the better, and we're going to grow the pie together. And we should figure out how to collaborate. We need to. Yeah,
the sort of scarcity affect was completely demolished by Web3 when people are like, yeah, it's all blue ocean. It's an infinite space. Like, let's just go. And all of these tools kind of click together that have this Lego type quality to it, where you're just like, you have to collaborate, you have to build.
We all have to onboard billions of people into Web3 together. The only way we're going to do it is if we work together.
How soon do you think it is before we have 4 billion people in Web3?
Oh my gosh, I know, you're kidding me with the tough questions. It's so hard. I always say years, but I think people have asked me, about when Web3 is truly, or DAOs are going to become truly mainstream. Everyone will be in a DAO. I think I might get roasted for this. I've been throwing out a decade. Like, I think for DAOs, we are so early, right? Like, we're figuring out together. We're seeing all these DAOs emerge. Like, we're building the tooling as we're building the DAOs, and we still have a lot of hard things to figure out, like legal and governance, and regulation, right? Like, I know, right? Like, that's why I threw out a decade. Like, those things are tough. Like, we have to work with these very notoriously difficult to work with institutions, the government, like, et cetera. It's hard.
That's part of our use case. That's why we're such a good use case for you. So Balcony DAO is bringing real world assets, real estate, onto the blockchain, which means that we're security. Right? So now we need to be able to have sort of gated channels so that we can allow ourselves to not shill to unaccredited investors when it's illegal or inappropriate, but to shill to accredited investors.
I have bots for you. I mean,
they make bots for you?
Yeah. Guild developed. It used to be called the Medusa bot. It's called the, I think, Guild bot, guild.xyz. And you can token gate your Discord. You can gate by POAPs. You can gate by NFTs. You can gate by token. And it's really incredible.
Okay, we're absolutely
sit down after this and we're gonna go through this.
I need major help. Major help.
We'll do a workshop with you.
Yes.
Done.
If you want, we could film the workshop.
Oh my gosh, we would love that. Yeah.
Workshop Shill.
Okay, workshop Shill.
Yeah.
And then other DAOs can learn from this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, that's the whole point of this.
I love
that. The show is just like listening to your process, listening to what problems you're solving. And how that impacts DAOs. It's just an opportunity for people who are dealing with all the same problems to not spend months and months and months to land where we've already arrived.
I'm going to show you again. Have you heard? Are you going to go to the DAOist event in Amsterdam?
I'll go to a DAOist event in Amsterdam.
Okay, I'll send you all the detail. But
what is that?
There's this organization that is also DAO called the DAOist, and they hosted an event at ETH Lisbon. I loved it. It was a day of talks and workshops, all of the DAO builders, and they're having one in Amsterdam in early April. We just decided to sponsor, and I'm probably going to do a talk or a workshop. But I love ETH Denver. I've loved all the other events, but if you love DAOs, like the DAOist is the place to be. So the last workshop we did at the DAOist in Lisbon, we came and we did a workshop. We were showing our DAO Discovery prototype that's not live, but we also just sat down and I had everyone share, what problems are you facing in your DAO, like in your Discord server, like what problems are you tackling, and we all just kind of brainstormed together. And I think you just realize that everyone is facing these problems at different degrees, and the really tough thing about community is it's a living, breathing thing. Your problems are going to change. Like, you're going to need different tools, you're going to need different approaches as your community grows and scales. And
listen, I'll tell you my last problem that I had in my community. This literally happened today. It's like, first of all, for whatever reason, my own Discord server doesn't give me updates that I see. For whatever, I have no idea. For whatever reason, I get everybody else's like trash spam, but my own community.
Okay, we gotta help configure all of that.
I don't know what happened. I configured it, I code. It's not like I'm not some like.
No. It's it's buggy too, so it might
it's still buggy. So whatever. So I gotta fix that problem, right? But since we've been building and council has been like, listen, don't say anything. Like, don't say anything because we don't want the regulators to interpret anything that you say before we have a cogent strategy. And I'm like, it's really hard to build a community when you can't speak. So we haven't been speaking at council's request. So literally this morning I wake up and there's just a comment. It's like, I think this server died. It's like, I'm like, this is horrible. Like, I'm like eulogizing my community.
I can give you some advice right here. I think one thing that is super important to look at is, onboarding and also kind of member engagement. So I think first sitting down and thinking about, with your DAO or whoever from the community wants help, it's like, what does it mean to be a member of Balcony DAO? What does it mean to be a contributor? Like, where do we want, like, what does that journey look like? And then going back to your DAO, like tailoring the onboarding experience to that. I was a community co-lead for Crypto Society and Culture and did the kind of season 1 onboarding. And I think the biggest advice I have, especially when you're getting started, keep it simple. People don't read, they skim stuff, like keep it simple. Start with, your values, like what is the values? What's the expectation in your server? Have a little FAQ, let people know how they should engage. And I think one channel that is so important to have is an introductions channel. Kind of telling them, hey, in your intro, share XYZ or, share how you want to contribute or have a separate contributors channel. And an overlooked role that is also very important is kind of having volunteers to be greeters, like react to those intros, welcome them, connect the new people with other people. So that's kind of one, but to answer,
Are founders typically the people doing this? Because like I'm building stuff.
So I would say this is my challenge. Like I do some of it. I think my idea, I guess, as a leader Topgg is just like, hey, if I have to set that example. So I think it's important to set a lot of time, hold space with the community, hold time, hop in the server. Topgg, we have, I think, 180,000 people on our server. So,
right.
You have to find a way to do it at scale. So what we do is minimum every quarter, like I just have an open community AMA, and we have people submit questions and threads. We also try to have monthly events where I'm speaking or moderating, or we'll have different folks in the community participating. But I think what's so important is if you have a server, you need to have a community manager, you need moderators, you need other like volunteers. Like what kind of roles do you want them to have? Greeter could be a role. I think that's important. You need multiple people to do that, because Discord, it doesn't go to sleep. Crypto doesn't sleep 24/7.
It's so 24/7.
It's crazy. And so I think too, just sitting down and thinking about, okay, what are your moderation rules and guidelines? What's expected? And I always go back, like in my past life as a product manager, I would always go to Leo and be like, hey, I know you're saying this, but like, come on, there is a gray area. Like, there's the spirit of the law and the letter of the law. We're gonna find that. Like, how can I still have conversations with my community? Like, what are topics we could have? Maybe you could even bring your community along in brainstorming sessions for, what do they like? What could be improved? Things like that.
How
things
do I
that are not
find
gonna
somebody
get you in
to run
trouble.
my community like you?
Oh my gosh. I would say,
Coach Shill.
I know. Now you're. Oh, so we're gonna switch jobs. That's what's going on. Okay.
See how this works?
Yeah.
You think you're in here doing one thing, next thing you know, you're doing
Where's
something
my balcony DAO? So I need some bribery.
Oh
I'm
my
just kidding.
God!
No.
How do I not have swag?
Okay, you got him. Next step, swag.
Jesus,
That's how you can recruit at these conferences.
This is why I need you.
Yeah, hey, I think that there are so many people out there that are nervous about contributing to DAOs. Like, I've had so many people say, I'm not an engineer, I don't know Solidity, I don't know Rust, like how can I contribute? And I'm like, wait a second, where DAOs need probably the most help is in community management.
Oh, hell yes.
Scribes, community managers, moderators, greeters, event organizing, like their writing, marketing.
You know what I've learned, which is really interesting, is like, if you go off hours on US, all of these DAOs have seemed to have found people who are German or like from like Wales or in these like rural communities. They speak perfect English. They run off hours. I've noticed it because I look at the mods and I see.
We have a volunteer staff about 30 people, and we have people all over the world. And so I would say, I love, like as I built out the Topgg team, I love hiring people from our community. So Vanessa, who I keep mentioning because she's amazing, she was a community manager as part of our kind of volunteer staff, and then we hired her full time to be our community lead. And then also we've just hired some support associates. Some of them came from the community. I think that, if you're thinking about a community manager, go to the people who are in Balcony and see if anyone has that skill set. And also,
so most of our people in Balcony right now are like major real estate investors.
Okay, I got it. So you got to look outside. So this is what I would say. Look outside and look for someone who's passionate about real estate, maybe an adjacent industry, like they're Web3 curious, they have these community manager skills, and bring them in. And also what's really cool, Discord has a moderator kind of certification program that they offer. Yeah.
You can get Discord moderator certified?
Yes. And so that's something great. Like as you're, recruiting for this community manager, you can also, say, hey, I'm looking for some of those folks. Or if you hire someone who doesn't have that yet, you can send them to go do that.
That's amazing. Yeah. What is the average cost for a mod in these communities?
Oh my gosh, it depends. So I have to tell you a secret. So we do pay our volunteer staff, but a lot of servers, and even I've heard some of the biggest servers do not, they don't pay their staff, which I don't think is okay.
They don't pay anything?
Yeah, it's volunteer based, and it's because for a lot of people, it's having like cred, but I think the special thing about DAOs is that, you would reward your contributors, right? So
I gotta tell you, I'm totally uncomfortable with that.
I know, like I'm not comfortable with that either. So we kind of have this program at Topgg which we have people who started as bot reviewers, and like once they pass that, then they become moderators, then they become community managers, et cetera. But I do think it's really important to offer, like, compensate. It's just not
tokens
right.
at minimum.
Tokens at minimum. I think every community needs
like
a full-time
concept.
community manager. Like, it's such an important hire.
So there's this DAO called Compy, Tangential Shill.
Compy, add yourself to Topgg. DM me on Twitter.
Oh man,
Kristin
you just
Chen on
grabbed
Twitter.
that one right
Yeah,
back. You just
I had to
lassoed
sneak.
that right back.
I know.
Oh man, good girl. Anyway, Compy finds ways to pay people that takes their native token and USDT or whatever stablecoin you want to use, give you some kind of a mix, and it allows you to pay people in a way that's appropriate for them wherever they are.
Oh, I like that. I haven't heard of that before. That's
it's
really
very
cool.
good. So I was talking about using that. Like I would hope that we could at least compensate with our token, and maybe it like scales up and you increasingly get more USDT, or maybe you get to decide. That's one of the things you could do.
I like that. That feels really empowering. It's like, hey, do you want USDT or USDC? Do you want a stable coin, or do you want our token or something else?
I think that's really cool. Like, so it gives, I think it's an open way to have a conversation with somebody about what they need, because other people are in different places in their life. Some people have, like we had this community of people who reviewed music called Demander. On that community, there were people that were retired who just loved music.
That's amazing.
And two stories. One was, we had one guy who was like 66, and he was hitting all these indie shows and taking these photos and writing reviews. And I was like, this guy's got a shitload of time. I'm like, I wonder if he's like failing out of college. I was like, hey man, how's school going? He's like, I don't know. I haven't been in 40 years. I was like, what?
Oh
and then we get the story. It's just this dude who just loves music, and he's like, I don't need to be paid because I have a fixed income. I'm chilling, and I'm giving him free tickets to shows, and he's on a fixed income, and he's like, this is great for me, And the other story, which is really hysterical, is we had this amazing contributor who wanted to go to Rolling Loud, and he's like, listen, I need you to kind of like get me in and do this thing. And he wrote me this whole letter, and it was like really, really intelligent. He gave me his portfolio and all these like beautiful, like professional level pictures. So I sent the guy to the show, and then he wrote up the review, and the review starts with him being like, he's like, after I convinced my parents to let me go as a 15-year-old, I'm like, this is like an almost famous story.
I know.
So then this kid has got all these pictures. He's like backstage at Rolling Loud.
You never know on Twitter or Discord, right? Like
you have no idea.
You have no idea.
And that brings up like a couple interesting questions. It's like, should you know? It's like, how much anon can you respect and service as a business? Do you need to know? Like, who are you employing? You're paying these people?
It's tricky.
Is there a liability? Like, there's a lot of more questions in the DAO space. This is the plumbing that has to get put in place.
Yeah,
so there's best practices.
Exactly. Or one thing that I am very close to my heart, like diversity, equity, inclusion matter. That is one of our company values at Topgg. But I think those are some conversations I've been having with my friends in the space. It's like, wait, when you have anonymity, like, how do you make sure that the space is inclusive or diverse or it's equitable? Like, you just how do you verify that? And is that okay? Is it not?
There's a lot of that, like,
it's hard.
A lot of that noise. There's a lot of that, like, you drop all the buzzwords, and I'm highly resistant to it. I think community in general has been leveraged as like a tool to manipulate people in many, many, many instances. So I'm very sensitive to like what that word is supposed to mean. I think people need to be very, very, very clear on what a community is and how they're using it.
Exactly. For me, right? Community, like, to me, at its heart, it's bringing people together around a shared interest. But what does that mean, and what's the purpose? I think especially a lot of people are turned off from crypto or Web3 or DAOs. Like, even for our existing community, which has a lot of gaming roots, it was hard. We had an event that was a DAO and Web3 101 panel, and we got a lot of questions where it was like, NFTs are bad, they're bad for the environment, or like, whoa, they're scams. And so I think that, sorry, where was I going with this? Yes, I remember now. It's just, education is such a big piece of it, but like really defining what your community is so important, because there are people out there taking advantage and
of course.
Just trying to make a quick buck or rug pull.
There's always shysters.
Yeah.
There's always shysters.
Yeah.
I don't think that should really define the space, because there's shysters in every
Absolutely.
space. Like the reason why governments don't work very well is because they're just groups of people governing.
Totally.
And so like we can have the same crappy people governing
That's
a
what I
DAO.
remind them. Like the things you're bringing up, like they're not unique to Web3, right? Like as I have these conversations, like these are just problems that exist with communities fundamentally.
Correct.
That need to be solved.
Correct. The question is, are we solving for Web3 or are we solving for
Yeah.
community? Are we solving for profit or are we solving for values? It's like, if you're just clear about what it is you're solving for, a community can form that could actually advance that
Absolutely.
agenda. And if you're not, the best option is to just monetize and be a shyster.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if you just happen to get 800,000 people in a room and you really have nothing to say, it's like Twitter. It's like, oh man, I didn't expect this tweet to blow up. Here's my SoundCloud. It's like, you're just going to shill, right? Like I didn't expect it. You're just going to look to monetize, which isn't necessarily bad either. But I think that there's some kind of an onus on people to be direct and honest.
I think
and
so,
genuine about what you want. It's okay to want money. There's nothing wrong with wanting money.
Yeah, just be upfront about it.
Just be upfront about it. Just don't tell people you're building a community about unicorns and rainbows when it's really about Lambos.
Exactly, and that's why I'm going to bring it back to like Topgg too, and I think that's what we were explaining to our community. We're like, listen, you might have your own personal views on the space, but with Topgg, we're bringing transparency and accessibility. So if something is a shill or a scam, it's going to get reported, and people will be able to navigate that.
Can you follow the scammers from like handle from Discord to Discord? Are you able to do that?
I don't think we can. We can't do that right now, but that's a really good idea. Someone needs to make a bot to do that. I mean, I guess one thing we do is like we have really strict rules in place for like banning, but I guess I don't know if it follows from Discord to Discord, but I would recommend every single Discord server, you need to have these bots in place to prevent, malicious people or fake accounts coming in. Like there's verification bots, there's bots that deal with anti-NSFW, other things. I tell people, there's raids on Discord, like they'll come in and blow up your server, and you need to have these kind of checks in place before you get that big and before that happens.
So, one thing that might be useful is there are these bots that people build that are just sentiment analysis bots. We kind of touched on it. But if there was sort of like a catch-all opt-in bot for the entire universe of Discord servers that provided a token to the servers that opt in to perform sentiment analysis and all of the community members were aware of it.
New startup idea right here.
Then you have the ability to say like, this is the overall sentiment across hundreds of millions of transactions.
Or this person was banned here, like don't let him in because of XYZ, like don't let him in.
Sure, it follows them around, but then it's also like
that.
They're talking about Topgg in these 36,000 servers, and sentiment analysis is showing us that it's trending highly positive, and it's correlated with people talking about their token release. I think that there's
a lot of amazing stuff.
There's a lot of tools in there, and
combine that with all the Twitter data, like.
I mean, I got to think people are doing this on some level now. I don't know how great they're doing it. Because the other thing is that a lot of the AI that people are using is just like out-of-the-box AI. Like if you go and you use like an out-of-the-box library for sentiment analysis on Python to go through Twitter, honestly, I think it's kind of junk what you get on the other side. You really have to build that algo yourself. And to build that algo yourself, you really have to be somebody who understands the space. All right, that's a lot of data. It's super dense. It's almost as dense as Discord. So that's going to take a while to unpack. I want to have this Zoom call. I want to use Balcony DAO as a case study.
Yes.
Break into what we're working on. So we'll do that. But before we leave, when people come onto the show, we let them shill out, us out of the show. Go ahead. It's your last shill of the day.
Okay, last shill of the day. Come check out Topgg. If you want to find Discord bots, we got you. You want to find Discord servers, we got you. And please check out our latest launch, Topgg/DAO. Go explore the DAOs there. If you're a DAO, please list with us so more people can find you. And if you are new to the space, still go to Topgg/DAO. Check out our resources and starter packs. We have a lot of amazing things for you. And I just want to encourage you, if you're thinking about contributing to DAO, jump down the rabbit hole, do it. You will not regret it. And you can find me on Twitter at Kristin M. Chen, KRISTINM, and then CHEN. And you can find Join Topgg on Twitter at Join Topgg. So yeah, hit us up.
That's pretty good. I'm going to call that one the community shill.
Yes.
Community shill. Community shill. That's good. Yeah. That's good. That's well done, Kristin.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're a good shiller.
It was
You're a shiller. You're a shiller. Thanks for being here.
PhD in shilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'll teach that masterclass next. Call me masterclass.
So good.
Yeah.